Well, hello there. How is everyone? I hope you are all well on this marvellous, marvellous Monday. And you're looking marvellous, by the way, and I'm looking like a burnt lobster. But anyway, that's by the by. Having a bit of a nightmare today, trying to get things to work properly, and who knows whether it does or not. Let's just crack on. Anyway, right, so this is video one of two. Number two today, we're going balls deep in Howard Blum. Not literally balls deep in Howard Blum, that would be horrendous. But we are going to be talking on whether he changed his mind, whether he's a paid shill. Yeah, we'll leave it there. You'll have to check that video out. But in this video, we're talking about Jay Slater. Jay Slater, the young man who's gone missing in Tenerife. He's still missing. He's still missing. What a case. What a case. I got absolutely hammered when I covered this video the other day, this case in a video the other day. People were emailing me saying, "What are you doing? What are you doing? You're ignoring stuff. You are ignoring stuff. You are a problem. You are a shame to the community because you have put out that this boy's missing and saying, and in it you showed that there was a GoFundMe. Are you not aware that this boy was involved in a machete attack with a bunch of other monkeys and that he got community service, escaped it, and they were laughing, this, that, and the other. Are you aware that this actually happened? How can you support this kid? And you should be ashamed of yourself." So yeah, people weren't happy. People were not happy. So I'm going to say this, right? I'm going to say this. Now, what we're seeing here, and this is no different than we see in other cases, right? Like the Idaho 4 case, for instance, and I'm not making this video an Idaho 4 video. What I'm saying is, because you've got the victims in the Idaho 4 case, and they have people on the peripheral who are involved in narcotics, for instance, automatically people will think, hold on a second, this could potentially be a narcotics related incident, because it's kind of common sense, isn't it? Because you think, oh, well, they've been murdered for something, and it just so happens that two of the families were involved in narcotics and so on and so forth. And what you're seeing in this case with Missing Jay is that because of his past, there's an abundance of stories ranging from he's a drugs mule and he lost some and he's been captured by some people and they want to get the money off him and, you know, this, that and the other, or this is karma, retribution, this is, you know, they've tracked him down to Tenerife and they've bashed him in and all this sort of stuff. But what we've learned truly is that when things like this happen, when the public gets involved with cases, unless you are motherfucking squeaky clean, you're going to have problems. If that's a missing child situation, like we see in the Sebastian Rogers, for instance, when the skeletons all start falling out of the closet, like an episode of Bones, people then start thinking, hold on, step back, Shadrach, this family don't really deserve our help and support. They don't. And people start to lose focus and things start falling apart. The upside is because there gets more interest in the dramatic side of these cases, they become more virulent and more people see it, and that helps. So there's that balance. And, you know, if there isn't anything exciting, then the cases they just go under the radar and people just don't, they're just not interested. But in this, what I found quite interesting was that the family, I'll show you this, they're on social media and they're obviously saying his past has hurt this case. You know, they've said here, can everyone stop believing everything they see on TikTok? The stories aren't true and just things people are making up. I honestly think it's disgusting. There is people going live with the caption, finding Jay. If you are helping to find Jay, then do it without using him as a way to gain followers. He isn't just a pawn in your way to get fame. This is somebody's son and friend, and there are people who genuinely worried, which is what people have to understand. Let me just get rid of this for a second. Oh, and by the way, before I come off this, check this out. So they have released the last known picture of him. Now, I will say I'm not sure whether it's the last known picture of him or Bigfoot, because that's your picture. Why is it whenever there's a picture in a case, it looks like it's been taken by a fucking potato? Or every time. The family and friends of a British teenager who was missing in Tenerife have shared a picture of a possible sighting. That could be fucking me! The search for Jay Slater is now in its second week after the 19-year-old was reported missing by his friends on the Spanish island last Monday, June 17th. The teenager reportedly walked off alone into a mountainous area in the rural Deteno Park, close to the village of Masca, after leaving an Airbnb rental apartment where he had stayed with two people he met at the NRG Music Festival. So yeah, it's all gone a bit crazy. The stories are hindering things. There's possible potential sightings. I don't know, but in reality, let's cut through the shit and just talk about what's going on there. Ultimately, Jay seems to have a shady past. 100%. It's reported. It's all over the internet. You can go back and find it. But look, absolutely, you've got to detach from that. Let's compartmentalise for a bit and think about it. This is a teenage lad who's on holiday. He's gone away, gone to a music festival, and he has subsequently gone missing. He's in terrain that he's unfamiliar with. He is without a phone. He is without water. And sadly, he's quite possibly deceased. Sucks to hear it, but he could be deceased. Now, there's going to be a proportion of people who turn around and say, well, he fucking deserves it. That's karma for you because of what happened. But what I will say is, youngsters are fucking idiots. They're absolute idiots. We know that. But you need to decide who you are as a person. Are you someone who says, okay, when someone commits a crime that many years ago, does this or does that with a group of friends, they're a fucking write-off. You might as well bin them. Lock them up, throw away the key, never be seen again. Do we have that mentality? I know sometimes it's hard because we see cases like Jared Lycett, for instance, who apparently done the crimes he did when he was younger, and now people want to crucify him now because of the heinous nature of that. But then there'll be a proportion of people who turn around and say, well, he was a young kid. He was abused himself, yada, yada, yada. Do you know what I mean? There's a grey area somewhere, isn't there? There's a grey area. And you have to think to yourself, right, let's put everything aside and just understand that this is someone's son, this is someone's nephew, this is a young kid, and how are you going to feel if he turns up dead? If you're one of these people who are like, well, that's karma. I don't want to be that type of person. It's quite sad that we turn around and we behave like this. Now, sometimes it is something that you have to go down the route of and think, right, is there any truth to this? Like in the Idaho 4 case, going back to that again, because Brian Kohberger, that case against him, it seems so rocky that you think, why has somebody executed everyone in this house? Is there something going on in the past? So you talk about it, you question it. But you wouldn't turn around and say, well, they fucking deserved it. You know what I mean? Because they were on OnlyFans, or they were sugar daddy girls, whatever they call sugar girl. I don't know, whatever you call them girls who get with old men for money. That wouldn't mean that they deserved what they got. That's not karma, is it? So in this case, it's a hard one. But there's a lot of conspiracy theorists out there. There's a lot of conspiracy theories around this. Was it a mule? Whatever. And I think we have to just step back a little bit and think, this is a kid. At the end of the day, this is a stupid kid who probably thought he's fucking invincible. He's been out, whatever, and he's got himself fucking missing. And I hope the kid's found. I do hope he's found. And I hope he's found as well. He's getting a lot of hate. And you have to think to yourself, where does that end? A lot of these cases that we see are massively affected when these skeletons fall out of people's closets. And it doesn't help anybody. Doesn't help. But anyway, that's my rant over. I'm getting out of there. This is video 1, not video 2. I don't know whether the other video says video. I don't know. This is definitely video 1. So keep your eyes peeled for video 2, and I'll catch you all in the next one.